the farmers. Today, let us discuss the history of agriculture in the Philippines.
The cultural achievements of the pre-colonial Philippines include those covered by the prehistory and early history of the inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago. The pre-colonial forefathers of today's Filipino people, agriculture, societal and environmental notions, spiritual beliefs, and technological, scientific, and artistic advancements are among the cultural achievements of native peoples' belief system and culture in general that are significant in many ethnic societies. Pre-colonial Philippines societies relied on swidden agriculture rather than intense permanent agriculture prior to colonial times.
When it comes to land cultivation, they prefer the kaingin approach. The kaingin system involved the burning of shrubs and bushes followed by planting on the cleared land. For example, in pre-colonial Visayas, staple crops such as rice, millet, bananas, and root crops were farmed in Sweden's kaingin. While rice was a highly valued and preferred food, root crops were the most frequent food all year, and in certain locations, root crops such as taro and yam were the only accessible crop for the majority of the year. The Banawi rice terraces are thought to have been created as early as 10,000 BC, which proves the early Filipinos' skills in agriculture.
Agriculture was the main source of livelihood in the pre-colonial Philippines. There was an abundance of sugarcane, coconut, rice, cotton, and many species of fruit and vegetable. Before the arrival of Spaniard, pre-colonial Visayan farmers did not know to plow or the carabao. According to historian William Henry Scott and anthropologist Robert D. Fox, described the Mangyan of Mindoro as sedentary agriculturalists who farm without the historians are well aware that the Spanish prior introduced and disseminated plow technology and the harnessing of carabao for plowing.
At the proclamation of Philippine independence on June 12, 1898, which gave birth to the first Philippine Republic under the stewardship of President Emilio Aguinaldo, several offices and agencies were established. The Department of Agriculture and Manufacturing was created through a presidential proclamation on June 23, 1898. By 1901, the American sovereignty had implemented a diversification policy that prioritized the development of other agricultural goods such as rice and other basic commodities, as well as fishing, forestry, and mining. The Insular Bureau of Agriculture was then created under the Department of Interior through Act 271.
Eventually, the Bureau of Agriculture grew rapidly until it was abolished by enactment of Act No. 2666 on November 18, 1916, which was implemented on January 1, 1917. By the virtue of this act entitled An Act to Reorganize the Executive Department of the Government of the Philippine Islands, the Department of Agriculture and Natural Resources took over the functions and activities of the Department of Interior, namely, direct executive control, direction and supervision of the Bureau of Agriculture, Bureau of Forestry, Bureau of Lands, Bureau of Science, and the Weather Bureau, and all matters concerning hunting, fisheries, sponges, and other sea products, and such others as may be hereafter assigned to it by law.
We created an agricultural model to praise our Filipino farmers that they are very helpful people, industrious, and have a big contribution to our country. We believe that agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most novel employment of man. In the Philippines, the traditional way when it comes to land cultivation, they must prefer using the kaingin system. This system involved the burning of shrubs and bushes, followed by planting on the cleared land. The Filipino farmers also prefer the importance and usage of carabao because carabaos are the hardworking and patient. It's farmers' best friends. Without it, the farmer feels he is the only help because the carabao is the reliable partner that farms land with the use of plow.
Kami pong gabos.
Ay saludo.
Kainlong Kasipagan.
Mabuhay ang magsasaka!
Mabuhay ang magsasakang Pilipino!